Hello, 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 everybody. I'm waiting for the magnificent Ted Rall to make an appearance. As y'all can see, he is hiding behind that beautiful black screen with the TMI logo. Welcome to the TMI show where everything can and will happen. Why I am to the left of Ted Rall is a mystery for the ages, but yet here we are. Supposedly, Manila will be back next week for those of you who are fans of Manila Chan. So, looking forward to that. We get to teach her how to use Rumble Studio, Ted. That's going to be awesome.
Oh my God. Well, she's a tech maven.
Well, for an Asian, she should be, but she's
If you
not.
hadn't made that joke, I would have. Well, I would have been
She
tempted to. I might not have made it.
she just I don't know. I mean, she really just have her Asian card revoked.
That's true. No, she's I mean, she would. We're not telling tales out of school here. She would tell you herself. She's
Oh, she has.
tech
But
is not really her friend. Right.
nor is math. So I mean, she breaks all the stereotypes.
So yeah, it's hilarious. Thanks everyone for tuning in. TMI show is here at about 10 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday, roughly. Definitely a hard out at 11 a.m. until Manila gets back. Although I'm planning to enforce that mechanism because I'll be running the Rumble Studio, so she won't be able. She may be able to learn the Rumble Studio. It is tricky, as people who are regular viewers. If you've been rated over by over from Deprogram, thanks so much for joining us. Just a little housekeeping. This will be the last show for me for
Oh, they
today.
cannot see us, Ted. We are covered up still by the logo.
Okay, let me take care of that. Thank you guys for pointing that out. Okay, that should fix the problem. Okay, okay, that's a Rumble Studio thing. Speaking of which, all right. So
So
let
they
us
weren't
know.
able to see the sexy black box that you're hiding behind.
Yeah, right. It was a black box under a black box.
Oh my God! I
It was a
mean,
double black box. It was like the black hole in the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Um, anyway, so we should be visible now. Let us know if we're not. Let us know if we are. Whatever.
we
Um,
are visible. I am currently watching us, and we will be doing a because I have to do one more raid. I was going to raid Putinbot Gaming. However, I've got to take my wife to go get her brakes taken care of for her car. So we will be raiding some random show today at the end of the stream. I'll pick one and we'll just go there.
okay.
What does that mean?
By the way, Robbie, brakes are
Yeah,
so un. They're such a luxury. I mean, just go flat and uphill, and you won't need them. It'll be fine.
yeah. I mean, I don't see a problem with this.
I did have a crazy brake failure once. I'll tell the story. I'm driving on the Long Island Expressway in stop and go traffic, and at the time I owned an old car. I owned a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda hatchback. I mean, not hatchback, the fastback, which cool car, but the brakes sucked, and the brakes went out. And I was driving with some friends, and I was like, no worries, we'll just go to the emergency brake. The emergency brake, I go to pull it. It was down by my left knee, and it was the old kind it's a lever that you pull towards you, a
Right?
ratchet. Anyway, nothing happens. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. No emergency brake either. So we're going down. We're on a downward. We're in an embankment. It's like maybe a 5-degree slope, and gaining speed. So I'm in the fast lane. So I get over to there's a shoulder between the Jersey barrier and the left lane. So I get in there, squeak by like some stopped cars, literally to the point where my right rear view mirror clicked their left rear view mirror. But I'm
Huh?
starting to think I'm going to have to hit something. So I see this big fat BMW. I'm like, who am I going to hit? Always class conscious. I'm like, I'm hitting the guy who can most afford to be hit. So I like saw the BMW. The car had the design had a big fat ass. I'm like, you're elected. I slam
Awesome.
into him going about 30 miles an hour. The guy floors it and takes off. Much to my great pleasure. I mean, I was going to have to explain, like, dude, my brakes failed. Please don't kill me. Don't shoot me. But so he just took off. I've got to think he had either the CIA's gold bars or bodies or guns or cash or drugs or all of the above in his car.
I mean, listen, I mean, if you've got to have a catastrophic failure and you have to pretend like you're a kamikaze pilot, then you cannot have a better target than someone that after you nail them, then runs away.
I mean, honestly, it's like it was literally like I have a colleague, Keith Knight, who does a cartoon called The K Chronicles, and he has a sub cartoon that called Life's Little Victories. This is one of life's little victories. You're just like, someone up there was looking out for me.
Yeah, for sure. Not
So,
bad for a communist who doesn't believe in the guy upstairs.
and it turned out great. Then I still had, but that only slowed me down, and I was still on a going downhill. So my friends like opened up the window and were waving at people to get the fuck out of the way. Thank God we were not like in California where everyone would be too stoned or mean to get out of the way. These are New Yorkers, so they were smart and they got out of the way. And we crashed into the side of the road and to basically use the grass to slow down. And by the time it stopped, I realized I was only like a mile or two from my mechanic. So I had the car towed. It only cost $62. If you ever had a car towed, you know that like it's very expensive. It's based by the mile.
Yep.
$62 is dirt cheap. And dropped the keys in the drop box. It was only like a couple blocks away from a train station. So literally the whole thing only cost me $62. And took the train into the city and took care of it later. I mean, so it was something that could have absolutely led to loss of life in multiple ways, and ended
Yep.
up hardly costing me any money, and certainly no injuries. So it could have been much, much worse. I often catastrophize things. This is a decatastrophization. So anyway, we have stuff to talk about here in the time that remains, and I think
No,
we
we don't
should
have
probably
to.
talk about
Listen, this is the TMI show. This is Friday. We can talk about whatever the hell we want.
it. Well, we've got. Oh, by the way, I should explain what happened yesterday, right? So I apologize. We didn't do yesterday's show because basically Rumble Studio disappeared, and I went to look to figure out how to do it, and literally there was all the stuff, the bells and whistles were gone, the feeds were gone, and so the whole thing had to be rebuilt. And then yesterday I went in to try to rebuild it, and I started to rebuild it, and I rebuilt some stuff, and then suddenly it repopulated. So I have no fucking idea what happened, but
Yeah. I'm not sure.
that's why we have a different color for the headlines now.
I don't know if I broke it whenever I did the video for the miss show earlier in the week, or I do not know. Rumble Studio is awesome. The sound quality is great. The video quality is awesome. But y'all need to realize this thing is held together with spit, duct tape, and some Elmer's glue.
No question. Oh my God, I've got to answer this question. So, Manchild is asking, what is the Gen Z stare? The Gen Z stare is the same thing as the INTJ stare. If you're into the Myers-Briggs personality profile, Robbie, you've got to take the Myers-Briggs test. I got to find out what you are.
I have
But
no idea what that is. Tell me.
so the Myers, some people, it's controversial, but basically it's a personality profile test that indicates that basically presupposes that there are four basic metrics that define a human personality. One of them is introversion versus extroversion. Another one is intuitiveness, truth versus feeling. I forget the others. Anyway, the point is there's four. So 4, 5, 4 makes 16. So there's 16 possible personality types. And so if you have a certain one, they each have nicknames, and they basically like, I'm an INTJ, which is the mastermind. It's relatively unusual, and it has but INTJs have like a certain. I mean, it fits me to a T. Have like they tend to have flat affect. They tend to be very methodical, calculating, planning, not in an evil way, but like sort of they're careful, and they don't trust their emotions to
Gotcha.
so I
So
bet you have some. You're not that far. Oh, maybe Blue Funk thinks that Robbie is ESFJ. Yeah, you're definitely more extroverted than I am too. J, down to be judge, more judgment than feeling for sure.
oh,
Just like me.
I hate people. So I don't know if I'm more introverted or more extroverted than you.
So I think the definition that works for me is it's not about liking people or not. It's about how the effect that they have on you. So when you hang out with other people, do you feel um, like charged and excited and then like afterwards energized, or do you feel tired and you need to recharge?
Whenever I'm around a lot of people, it doesn't matter if I'm at church or some kind of a social event, if I'm at the school, I like to be as far away from them as I possibly can. I do not like people.
But do you
I,
feel tired? But do you like after you go to church, like when you come home from church,
yeah,
do you feel tired or do you feel up?
I feel normal, like it's time to get some more work done.
So maybe you might be neutral. You might just be a scale of you might be a 5 on that introversion extroversion scale. There are
I
people
mean,
like that.
no, maybe it's just. I mean, I just asked Fang, what is, and she says the Myers Briggs test is actually commonly known as the Myers Briggs type indicator. It's a
Yep.
psychometric assessment designed to measure people's psychological preferences and how people perceive the world. But she cannot provide me a link for the test because she
No,
doesn't
there's
understand.
lots of free tests that have like either 50 or 100 questions.
No, but I need to teach Fang though, like basic English. Like, no, what? No, can you provide me a link? She doesn't understand the context of what I'm asking. She doesn't understand English.
Well, this is where if only she had someone to train her. But anyway, the Gen Z stare is very analogous to that. I love it. Might be like, look, I keep talking about how much I love this generation of young people. I mean, I can't like millennials. I mean, look, I have some of my best friends are millennials. They really are. But overall, generically, as a generation, I don't really click with them that well. The Gen Zers in their 20s, they're fucking great. I mean, it's like get on like it's just like get on. It's like sort of like when you just meet someone, you feel like you were always friends with them. That's how I feel about them, and I just think that's because I'm my NTJ probably. But also
Gotcha.
Gen X and Gen Z. Gen X likes Gen Z, you know, and also Gen Z. You guys listen to all our music, so it's like we can go to the same concerts if we want. All right, let's get to the news. I know we don't have to, but
No,
that's
we.
okay.
I'm really more interested in this personality test. So, do you want me
Well,
to take one?
yeah, but you're not going to do it on the air because there's like 100 questions. It's going to
I
be
can do it
like
on the air. Listen,
no,
people on
it's
Clovis
I
Cam
forbid
and
it. I
the
forbid
people
it.
on Clovis Cam, and you refuse to give the people what they want. I mean, there are people in the chat right now who are begging you, Ted Rall,
Okay,
for
listen,
Cat Cam,
Robbie,
and you refuse to do it.
I have a compromise. Let's make this a Rumble Premium episode. That
What,
makes sense.
what for Clovis Cam or for the Mayor's Briggs
Both.
test?
No, first we'll do the MBTI. All right.
Well, when are we going to do the next TED off? Because you're
That's good.
supposed to be taking me to school about the flood, and I think that you're afraid. You Ted Rall are afraid. You are afraid, sir.
Okay, okay, all right. You think that accusing me of being a chicken is gonna like make me? I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah, I'm not afraid. All
Y'all
right,
here.
no,
I'm baiting the man. I
but
am baiting the
I'm more
atheist.
interested in the Myers Briggs just because I have been wondering, and Manila's been wondering. By the way, Manila is supposedly back Monday for people who are just joining us belatedly. So, um,
Supposed.
all right, here I'm going into this. I know you're like rebelling. That's
Well,
how
I'm
you
from the
do.
South.
All right, here we go. True. All right. A traffic citation issued to a woman who said she was accused of holding a phone in a hand that she does not have has been dismissed. Court records show that the ticket was dismissed at the request of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office deputy who issued it. A court hearing had been scheduled, but was canceled after the case was dropped. The citation, issued February 11th along North Dixie Highway in Lake Worth Beach, accused the driver of violating Florida's wireless communications law while driving. The case drew widespread attention after the woman posted video of the traffic stop on TikTok, where she questioned the deputy's claim that he saw a device in her right hand. She said she does not have a right hand. Not only did she say she did not have a right hand, on TikTok she showed that she does not have a right hand. The citation, issued by a deputy with Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office on February 11th around 8:04 a.m., lists the charge as wireless communication device handheld while driving, first offense under Florida statute 316.3053A, with a civil penalty of $116. During the stop, the deputy is heard stating that he saw the device in her right hand. The woman says she does not have a right hand and plans to challenge the citation in court. She has also requested body camera footage from Palm Beach police. CBS News submitted a public records request for that footage as well. Although I don't
Maybe
know
the
that
cop
we
just didn't know the difference between his left and his right. I mean, this is a cop.
right.
I mean, seriously. I mean, you hold up your hands and you do your fingers like this. The one that makes an L is your left hand. So maybe the cop just simply doesn't understand that.
Or yeah, because it's like the other side.
Yeah.
or he's dyslexic.
Listen, I mean, the possibilities are endless. Maybe he's an immigrant. Maybe he's a Haitian immigrant who has put on the uniform to serve his new homeland, and he just simply doesn't know.
You think he was on his way to the animal shelter to pick up lunch?
I mean, no, anything is possible. I mean, this is Florida after all. And as someone who's from Florida, and I can tell you that there's two separate Floridas. It's not the same state. Once you get really south of Gainesville, Florida stops being Florida, and it becomes
the Caribbean.
Yeah, but it's like this mishmash of snot-nosed asshole New Yorkers, and then every kind of third world scum that you can just drop in one place, and it's all mixed together, and it's wild. It's absolutely insane.
Such a charming description, Robbie. I actually like South Florida. I like Florida, but
well, that's because you're from New York, and how you're talking about that the New Yorkers would rebel if their city government actually enforced federal immigration law. So, I mean, listen. I mean, New Yorkers, they want to have their immigrants. They want to be able to have the unwashed hordes come in and expect the rest of the country to pay for it.
Yeah, we take our Emma Lazarus seriously.
Yep. Well, then,
all right, but
maybe you should stay there and stop moving to Florida.
This story spoke to me because I've been the victims of many unfair police officers. But I've specifically I've specifically gotten 2 tickets in the past for this exact violation. Now, I do have both my hands for now, so I don't have that defense. But it was like I had a cop in Long Island pull me over, and he said, "I saw you on your cell phone. I'm writing you up." And I was like, "Officer, if I have a cell phone, please search my car. I give you complete consent to search my car and me." I was like, "I don't have a phone." I did not own a phone when he wanted to give me that ticket. Yeah. So, and he was like, "I could have sworn I saw you." Now, what was happening was I was leaning my elbow up on the window. The window was open, and I was just like this while driving, Yeah.
And so you thought you had a phone on, but at least that's an honest mistake. Like, this dude's accusing someone who's physically missing an appendage.
Yeah, but I guess my point is this shouldn't really be a law because it requires the cop to see you zooming by at, let's say, 40 miles an hour and see what you're doing in that flash of an eye, and basically no one can. Then there was another time when I got when I was stopped at a light, and lady police officer comes over in New York City, and she gave me a ticket for talking on my phone, right? My phone was in the center console, closed. I hadn't been using it, right? So I appealed the ticket by sending a copy. Back then, you had phone records that would show when you texted and everything. Now you don't have that. And literally, I was able to show that there was no activity on my phone for at least 20 minutes before and after the time that she wrote the ticket. They're like, "Guilty, pay." It's like, so I paid. And
it's a grift.
And then, of course, my personal favorite was driving on the interstate in upstate New York. I got pulled over by a state trooper. I was using the earbuds, and apparently, and nobody knows this, but you should know this, in New York and possibly other states, he wrote me up because he said, "Oh, I said, "I'm using a handheld, hands-free device." He goes, "You're supposed to only use one ear. The other ear is supposed to be uncovered." And like, okay, by the way, that makes sense, but
Yeah.
nobody knows this law, right? So everybody's like, it says like there's signs on use hands-free device. Now, of course, obviously, I just do it through Bluetooth through the car. At the time, I didn't have a car that had Bluetooth that you could do that through.
Yeah, I still
And
don't.
and if you have a law that's that like completely like nobody knows about, like when I've mentioned this to friends in New York, they're like, "Really? Like you have to have one ear free?" Like nobody knows. It should say like use one ear hands free device or whatever. It's
I mean, that cop had eagle eyes to see you with earbuds in your
I was
ear.
going 80. I was in a 70-mile-an-hour zone, or maybe I was going 65 or 75 or whatever in the 65. But the point is, I was going fast. Yeah, he did. He did have eagle eyes.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, he should be a sniper. He should, that guy. I mean, he should seriously be working for ICE because he
True.
would be able to spot a migrant from
Oh,
literally a mile and a
just
half
from
away.
their DNA, he could
Oh,
probably
for sure.
see their DNA.
Well, because I mean, you're just going to profile people, right? I mean, that's what you're going to
He could
do.
probably use his X-ray vision to see the IDs in their wallet through the car door.
Listen, at this point, he probably even knows his left from his right.
Yeah, no, he's a special breed of super cop.
Yeah, no, no, for sure. And May Blue Funk, she says, I'm unwashed, but I'm a citizen. Just to be clear, well, that's fine. Unwashed citizens, I have no problem with. I have not washed yet this morning either, so we're fine. That's no problem. I was talking about just bringing in the unwashed from the rest of the world and then just parking them in Florida or Texas. Let's not do that.
Excellent. All right.
Send them to Canada or New York City. That's what we should do, Ted. We should round up all of the migrants and just send them to New York City. Let your new Mayor Mandani, deal with the problem.
I guess. By the way, I don't know why it shows us like broadcasting to like 3 Facebooks. Like this,
Yeah, I
it's
just
like
figured that maybe you just made a bunch of Facebooks.
I did not. Yeah, no. I mean, and literally, I'm looking at the. I mean, God, it's so weird. Anyway, maybe I'll take the viewership stats out because it's like a little bit like overwhelming. There we go, gone. All right, let's. I just want to say personally, this police officer should be in Palm Beach should be fired.
Oh, 100%, or at least have to take a competency test. Like, no, send them to elementary school, maybe put them in a third grade class, and then get the third graders to teach them his left from his right.
He wrote I mean, he wrote the ticket. He sees her. She's got like her arm is severed here,
Yeah,
right?
she got a stump.
She has a stump, right? So like, I mean, look. As soon as he pulled her over, he should have been like, "I'm sorry, ma'am. Have a nice day. Drive safe." Right? That's it. He still wrote her the ticket.
He's just going for his quota.
I hope she didn't have to sign for it like they do in some states.
I mean, seriously. I mean, that's the reason why there should not be quotas for cops. It's because it
Yeah.
incentivizes them to go off and do this because the state benefits because they treat law enforcement as tax collectors, and it's a
Yes.
part of their job where you have to get a certain number of tickets and citations. Like I know a Montana highway patrolman, and so what he does is that Montana. So here's is neat. Montana's a huge state. There are 20 highway patrolmen, 20 to cover the entire state of
That's
Montana.
crazy.
20. So what this guy does is that he likes to sit over by Marias Pass because that's where the Californians come in from. They're coming here on their vacations, and he pulls over everyone that has a California plate.
Just because.
Because he hates them more than I do. And he said he meets his quota in like 2 days.
Well, it's funny because in California, there's one highway that goes from Oregon to California, and it's a steep downward slope. So of course people pick up a lot of speed,
Oh, yeah.
and the speed limit drops is different on that border between Oregon and California.
There's a speed
It's
trap.
lower in California. So it's a classic speed trap. And it's a tunnel, right? So people don't see the cops. So they're going downhill, speed limit changes, but they're in the tunnel. They literally have tunnel vision. The cop's just sitting there like the day is long. But you're right. There shouldn't be quotas. Cops hate the quotas more than anything.
Well, it's unsafe.
Yeah.
It's unsafe, and if you're there because you honestly want to be a good cop and you want to enforce law and order,
Help people.
then last thing you want to do is be a toll collector.
No. Yeah, exactly. You're like a bridge troll. I don't think any like little boy or little girl dreamed of being a cop in order to like write speeding tickets. And by the way, if speeding tickets or other moving violations were really meant to improve road safety, then the punishment wouldn't be cash, because that only affects people who are poor. Rich people can just write a check, no big deal, hire a lawyer to get rid of it. It's like it would just be a point system. That's all it would be.
Well, this highway patrolman, that's why he nails Californians. Like, no, I've talked to him. So if there's someone with a Montana plate, because St. Regis is the closest town to where we are, where it is I'm talking about.
Mhm.
The median income there in the county is like $20,000 a year.
Mm.
I mean, these people are desperately poor. Like Trump
They
says,
can't afford those tickets. Yeah.
there's no poor people. And these people, I mean, they have no power, like none. And so he does not ever write them a ticket. He doesn't care if he sees them make like a six. I'm going to exaggerate here, but just make like a 4-point turn in the middle of in the middle of the road. He does not care. He'll pull them over and say, "Hey, you need to be safer. Stop being an idiot." But he 100% will nail Californians every chance he gets, and that's a hoorah on him.
I used to live, and also I've lived in small towns where you get consideration if you get pulled over and they check your license and you're not from there. The cops are often likely to let you off with a warning.
Yeah, I got pulled over there because I missed a turn to go into the gas station, and so I did a U-turn. They're on the interstate, which of course you're not supposed to do.
On the interstate.
On the interstate, so
that's a little insane.
There's no one around. It's Montana,
right?
In St. Regis, Montana. There's no one there, and of course I do this it's such a great time where I'm able to just whip around, and next thing I know, the cop pulls up and say, I need to get some gas. Do you mind if you do this while I fill up? So yeah, go ahead. And Kizzy's there. The kids are in the back seat. He said, I pulled you over. I said, a pretty good idea, officer. I'm pretty sure it's because of what I just did. He said, yeah, it was. That was a gnarly turn. Don't do it again. I was like, I make no promises. He just started laughing. So have a good day. That was it.
Hilarious. All right. Well, let's keep moving here. A squad of Thai police this is a Manila story, went undercover in drag to arrest a suspected meth smuggler. 5 burly male cops and 1 woman dressed as a female dance troupe 5 burly male cops and 1 woman dressed as a female dance troupe to approach their target during a street dance festival in the province of Lopburi, 90 miles north of Bangkok. Cops caught the suspect, Mecca Fawapwap, who, by the way, should be exonerated just for having an awesome last name.
That is an awesome name.
For more than 53 pills of methamphetamine and 20 plastic bags allegedly used to store and sell drugs. A mobile phone used for running an illicit gambling operation was also found. So Fawapwap, whatever else he is, was not lazy. Mr. Mecca was subsequently charged with possessing Category 1 narcotics for sale and operating an illegal online slot machine. Led by Pantha Panati, a police colonel, the police officers, still in their brightly colored sequined dresses, stood and posed for photos behind a handcuffed Mr. Mecca at the station in the district of the Luang. The officers struggled to contain their laughs while they posed for the camera. The authorities shared a photograph online of the arrest's aftermath with the caption, "We didn't want to go out and arrest him. It's a waste of costume rental." Thai officers are known for using unconventional disguises to arrest suspects. Back in February, police disguised themselves in dragon costumes to arrest a thief suspected of stealing Buddhist artifacts. Officers hid inside the red costume during Bangkok's Lunar New Year festivities to follow the suspect after responding to reports of a burglary in the city's suburbs. Video footage showed one police officer bursting out of the costume's head and, with his colleagues' assistance, tackling the man to the floor before arresting him. The 33-year-old suspect was accused of stealing several valuable Buddhist items, including two 12-inch Buddha statues from a senior officer's home after a break-in. Police estimated the value of the stolen items at about 2 million Thai baht, or 47,000 British pounds. This was a UK article.
Good on them. Congratulations for thinking outside the box. Now, does Thailand they do like Singapore or China do it? Execute drug dealers. If they don't, they should.
I don't know if they do. I mean, I would be surprised because it is a Buddhist country. I'm going to look this up. Death penalty. They are very strict. Yes,
they need to be.
do. They do. Thailand
Awesome.
maintains some of the strictest drug laws in the world, retaining the death penalty for severe drug trafficking and organized network leadership. Executions are carried out by lethal injection. Actual executions are rare, and the government has shifted focus back towards rehabilitation for minor offenses.
You can't rehabilitate someone that's selling poison.
No, for minor offenses, it says. So for, people who have a little bit. Possession of drugs for personal use is a criminal offense, but that system prioritizes rehab and medical treatment over prosecution for minor users.
Well, users, yeah. I mean, they need help. I'm talking about people who are just selling this crap.
Yes. Well, manufacturing, importation, exporting, or possession of large quantities with the intent to distribute can result in life sentence or death.
I wanted to get your opinion on this, Ted. I don't know if you are pro death penalty or not. I am, obviously. And I think that lethal injection is the dumbest possible way to kill somebody. It's expensive. It doesn't work all the time. It's just, it's insane. It's cumbersome. It's not efficient. Why not just bring back the headman or use the guillotine? I don't understand the drug cocktail.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of the drug cocktail came out of botched executions, from earlier methods like the electric chair. It doesn't always work, and basically the person's like burning up and frying alive and screaming and hollering and burning, and it's a horrible stench for all the witnesses and the people who carry it out.
For sure.
Gas chamber is dangerous for the people who do it because the gas can pool up and you could open it up and it's toxic, by definition. So the thought was we're going to make this easy on the witnesses by basically they're going to be killed, but they're going to seem to peacefully slip off in their sleep. We now know that's not true. That's not what happens. And of course, there's been a lot of botched executions in recent years, but that's also because the drugs that are used for the cocktail are no longer available because they're mainly made in the EU, and the EU doesn't permit them to be used for capital punishment, so they're not exported to the United States anymore. I agree with you. Decapitation is probably the most efficient and quickest system. There is some evidence that the head, there's consciousness that remains for up to 20 to 30 seconds afterwards in the head, but we don't know if there would be any pain or anything. I don't know if we care if there's any pain.
No, there wouldn't be any pain because there's no. I mean, the nervous system is severed.
Yeah, I would think there would not be any. I can't imagine.
You might be looking around for a minute or two, or not a minute, a couple of seconds. But you're going to be piecing out. The firing squad. If you get 5 men and you get, of course, the one was using a blank. So that if you're using 30-06 rounds and you shoot someone in the chest, they're going to drop quick. That's going to happen. I don't understand why we make this more difficult than it needs to be. First, if someone goes on death row, why are they there for 20 years? Doesn't make any sense.
Well,
And if
they get a lot of appeals, right? So, and the thing is, you want to be really, 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 really sure before you execute someone. Um, Look, for the record, I'm against the death penalty, and it's not because many of the people who are executed don't deserve to die. They do. Many of them do. But I think that the state should set the highest possible standard of behavior. So, for example, public officials should be more honest than you and me.
yeah, for sure.
Cops should be more fair than you and me. And I think, murder is literally the worst thing that a human being can do. And therefore,
Or rape.
or rape is way up there. But I'm choosing murder because execution is state sanctioned murder. And
It's not
and
murder.
murder is literally the worst thing that a human being can do to another human being. And I think when the state resorts to doing the worst thing it possibly can, and it's not even a matter of vengeance because it's not carried out by the family of the victim. It's carried out by civil servants who have no particular, they're just paid a salary to do it. It's just, I mean, I think it's repugnant. I think the state is is basically engaged in vengeance rather than justice. Now, if you had like sort of Sharia law, which is a far better system for this, I could possibly get behind it, where basically under that system, let's say you are killed, but then they catch the suspect. Kizzy would get to decide what happens to him. They can walk free. Maybe she'd say, let him go. She can say, execute him. She can say something in between, like, he should work on my farm for 10 years and provide free labor. But the point is that, like, the person who is impacted by the crime the most gets to decide what happens. And that seems to me a little bit more fair than the system we have. I think I think the death penalty as executed, as carried out in this country is horrific and it's disgusting. And not to mention the other thing is, if one person is ever executed by mistake and turns out that they were innocent, then the whole thing goes out the window in terms of being morally justified. The system fails for me. This has to work 100% of the time, or it doesn't work at all. And we know innocent people get executed.
Well, it's because we don't have a justice system in this country. We have a legal system. Those are two very different things. And what I'm
Right.
saying is, if we had a justice system, which we don't, I made the case that
Perhaps I
Catherine,
could get behind it,
yeah,
perhaps,
for
but we
sure.
don't.
And so the best thing that we can do is use the system that we have. We do have a death penalty, at least in a lot of the states in this
This
country.
country's
And
not qualified, isn't smart enough to carry. This system isn't good enough to have a death penalty.
well, it's all for profit now. But if we are going to have one, though, if we are going to have a death penalty, then we need to do it in an efficient way that doesn't waste tax. Like, why do you have to have a doctor to put an IV into someone to push drugs into them that might work and might not?
And it's violating their Hippocratic oath, right? I mean,
Yeah, for sure. As opposed to just having a guy strapping, just putting this dude in a guillotine, pushing a button, and letting it go. I mean, seems to me that would be a lot cheaper, a
I
lot
do
more
think the
humane.
death penalty, if you're going to have it, should be in public.
Oh, 100%. God, yes.
Because, I mean, first of all, if you want that deterrent effect, but also, society should own its shit. Like,
Yeah, very much
society
so.
should know what prisons are like. People should be able to visit prisons.
Yeah, we should have
Um,
public hangings.
Whatever we do, all the hangings are extremely inefficient system too.
But
There's a lot of
again,
botched hangings. Don't go well all the
well,
time.
it's for it depends if I want to make a show out of it or not. Like if you want to sell tickets, kind of like come on and watch this at the fairgrounds, whatever. Then
Oh,
no,
Robbie, you're going to be very sad. We have some breaking news.
oh what?
A federal judge in Virginia has temporarily blocked Trump's plan for a $1.8 billion slush fund to pay people who claim they were unfairly investigated, ruling that no money can go out the door for now. U.S. District Judge Leonie Brinkema said in a brief that officials with Trump's administration are temporarily prohibited from dispersing any of the money. A hearing has been set for June 12th to decide it. So, I know you're sad for January Sixers who are not going to be able to get compensation.
Well, I mean, to quote Andrew Jackson, he made his. They made the ruling. Now let him enforce it. Do it anyway.
All right, let's move on here.
I'm serious. Do it anyway. Why pretend like we? Why pretend like we have rule of law in this country? We don't.
Here we go. We have to talk about this. This is actually important. An elderly California couple found dead in a suspected murder-suicide had recently been scammed by someone posing as Tom Selleck. By the way, this is the Tom Selleck thing is not that unusual. Donald Whitaker, 80 years old, and his wife Karen, 79, were found dead May 15th in their house in Bermuda Dunes, California, after a welfare check, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. Riverside County is east of Los Angeles. They both had traumatic injuries and were pronounced dead at the scene. On Thursday, the Sheriff's Office said that Karen had been a victim of financial elder abuse and that officials believe that the couple died in a murder-suicide. In other words, he shot her, then killed himself. Authorities said that there is no evidence that the unknown scammer or scammers were involved in the deaths, but the incident remains under investigation. For the record, Selleck is not accused of any wrongdoing or involvement. Joy Medicki, 81, a friend, said that she met Karen through the East Valley Republican Women's Patriots Club and had known the couple for more than a decade. She said a neighbor requested a welfare check when Karen failed to show up for a Friday morning card game. Medicki said the scam began about a year ago after Karen posted memories of a high school friend who died. A couple days later, someone messaged Karen to let her know that they too knew the friend. They said that they were Tom Selleck and had dated this friend, this girl, years ago. Medicki said that Karen shared her phone number with that person, thinking that they had something in common. As the pair texted, the scammer learned more about Karen and gained her trust. Medicki said the scammer asked first for money in November when they asked Karen to buy an $80 ticket to an event that they were holding in the area. Medicki said that the scammer asked for her friend to send the money as a gift card. That's a standard thing. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, says that scammers often ask victims to buy a gift card and share the numbers on the back. The scammers use the card number to access the money loaded on the card. Medicki said the scammer told Karen that the event had been canceled. He kept writing her and gaining her trust and becoming her friend, and then he decided he was going to have the event again and told her, you can buy a whole table for all of your friends, it's $800. She immediately sent him the $800. Then he needed money for this and that and the other, and it just kept growing. Of course, we told her that's not Tom Selleck, this is a scam, but she wouldn't believe anybody. Medicki said that she contacted the Riverside County Sheriff's Office for help, and the deputies spoke to Karen and provided lots of proof that it was a scam. The sheriff's office said the financial elder abuse had been reported to them. Karen continued to send money anyway, Medicki said. When the messages became almost a bit romantic, Medicki said she went back to the sheriff's office and asked if Adult Protective Services could get involved. She said Donald Whitaker first learned about the scam when Adult Protective Services workers visited the couple's home back in January. According to Medicki, Donald and the couple's adult kids tried to intervene. The day before their deaths, Karen had asked her friends for more money. I think it's important to talk about this just because it is these scams are all over the place, and especially targeting the elderly. Personally, you want to know death penalty? Death penalty for the people who push this couple there.
Agreed.
So obviously these are vulnerable, naive, possibly suffering from dementia victims here, and it's disgusting.
It is. It absolutely is. And one of the big problems you're running into with AI is, it's possible to deep fake a voice, so you can make yourself sound like someone entirely different. And with as many people, like for example, we're both on hell, we're online right now. Someone could lift our voice
easily,
use AI to make it make us make it sound like that someone's talking to us. I could call. They could get a hold of like man-child and make it sound like me that's calling them, say, "Hey, man, child, I'm really in a bad way. Could you send me $1,000 or whatever?" And it's not me. It's a thief. It's a scammer, and it's a disgusting thing. And those people, though, typically, I am all in favor of a quick, painless death. Something like this, I would crucify those bastards on the side of the interstate and just leave them there. I'd go Roman style.
No, I mean, I fucking hate people like this. And, you know, the thing is, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry now. And, you know, the thing is, I guess I don't have as much problem like with, you know, some hacker in Moldova breaking into a Fortune 500 company's mainframe and stealing their money. Somehow that makes me giggle.
Yeah,
But going after individuals and like sucking them dry of their life savings, they should be killed.
yeah, I completely agree, and I'm serious. Look, you're a student of history. I'm sure you know the story about when Spartacus's rebellion was put down, how the Romans crucified all of his rebels on the road between Rome all the way down to Capua.
Yep.
I would do that same exact thing for murderers, rapists, and scum like this who take advantage of the weakest, most vulnerable people in society.
Yeah. No, it's so bad.
I would send a message that you will never forget.
Now, the most important thing is, and I think what's really lacking is, well, there's a bunch of things lacking, right? I mean, so as long as this problem exists, and it does exist, the two most important things, one thing we can do and the media can do, and this show in its own little way is doing, we need to get the word out, right?
Yeah,
Like if everybody knows, if this becomes a thing that you see, you know, elderly people watch CNN, they, you know, if this is reported more widely, it'll become known. And then people, when someone calls you, like with me, I don't think you should pick up the phone whenever it's like someone calling who you don't know. If you don't recognize that phone number, don't pick up. And hell, with spoofing, you might even have to be careful when you think it's someone you do know. Like
yeah.
John and I had that problem on Deprogram.
Well, that's why I
Um,
had to build that thing with Fang. Actually, where she was actually to go trace down the IP address.
right. So the point is that like you certainly don't should if you see an unfamiliar number, don't pick up. Or like when someone calls you and they're asking you for information to identify yourself, this is a hard and fast rule to avoid scamming, right? Like if someone is asked, they call you, it's their duty to identify themselves to you. You don't owe them any information. If you call the bank, it's your duty to identify yourself to the bank so that they know you're legit. I mean, people just need to use, and also anyone who rushes you into, we have to hurry up and do this. You have to do this. You have to send money somewhere. We have to educate people not to do that. And there needs to be, you know, public service announcements all over the place. We don't do that. The other thing that needs to happen is a lot of crime in this country that involves stealing from individuals. It's not. It's no longer burglars breaking into your house or muggers holding you up on the street at knife point. A lot of it is this kind of cyber shit.
It
And
is.
it's like every, you know, like most local police departments do not have a cyber crimes division, or they might have at most one detective who's assigned to deal with it. But it's a sizable percentage of crime committed against Americans. Every police department in the country ought to start feeling like cyber crimes are an important part of their duty to, you know, a substantial percentage of their force should be dedicated to researching these.
Listen, I could not agree with you more. And listen, my mother-in-law, she had 3 strokes about a month and a half ago now. She's now suffering from dementia. She's confused. She is not the same person now that she was at the start of the year.
Mm-hmm.
She will never be that person again. I mean, her brain is physically broken.
Mm-hmm.
If someone took advantage of her, and it'd be very easy to do at this point, that person gets voted out of life on this mud ball that we call Earth. And I'm serious. I was joking before about making a public spectacle about selling tickets to watch a hanging. Someone like this, I'm telling you, I would go Roman style. I would put that son of a bitch on a cross at on a major off ramp on a major interstate, and say, if you do this, this is your future.
Well, I'd be against that for one simple reason. Kids drive in cars too. right?
That's okay. Listen, people need to learn. Now, granted, no, it could be a problem for distracted driving. You go, you see these crows pecking these corpses. So no, there is that. But I'm dead serious. If you sell drugs, or if you're a rapist, or if you're a scammer like this, like Mr. Lee, he points out that if you're a big time scammer in China, uh, your 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 expiration date approaches pretty quickly.
I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, no, I've
We
heard that.
I
Yeah.
mean, we need to be serious about this kind of stuff.
No, it's disgusting. Yeah.
America's dying.
Well, a lot of them are in foreign countries, and this would be one of those things where it's like, if you're in a foreign country and you're doing this, it's like, I'm okay with us finding you Israeli style with a drone
Yeah.
and taking you out.
I don't know if I would use a drone because of the risk of collateral damage. Like I'm against collective punishment, so
Got to
I
be
don't think.
careful about that. Yeah.
So I don't think I would take out the guy's
Well,
entire
you can
apartment
always wait
building.
till they're out in the street and like, away from other people.
I mean, yeah, I mean, just hunt them down, or maybe use some of those gold bars that guy from the
Or just
saves.
honestly, or work with local law enforcement in like Nigeria or whatever, and say like, we want these people. I mean, look, if it was a national priority, I mean, we talked to the Nigerians. They, we'd say, we're sending people over there to get them. Help us out. Like,
But the
it's
thing is,
okay
though,
with
is
us. It's okay with me if they jail them, but just they
no,
got to jail them.
well, no, they need to kill him. It's like, well, what is your what is the cost for you to make sure that this person falls down a flight of stairs like multiple times and never wakes up from the
No,
coma?
I mean, it's true. Like
I'm dead serious.
going after vulnerable individuals, it's beneath contempt.
I mean,
Guys, we are done
someone
with
who's
our.
really young, someone who's old, someone that's mentally deficient. No, I've got no sympathy for you at all.
Oh, by the way, so important announcement here, breaking news here on the TMI show. I just got a text from Manila. I'll
Yeah, she's
quote.
in the chat.
Oh, she's in the chat? Where is
Yeah,
she in the chat?
yeah, she's here talking.
Oh, all right. Well, but they're for people who are listening and not doing the chat. Manila will be back on Monday, June 1st at 10 a.m. here on TMI show. So her long national nightmare is almost over. Uh,
You don't
so
have to deal with me anymore.
well, you'll still be in the background popping in, I'm sure. Anyway, we are very much looking forward to that. I want to really, Robbie, thank you for doing yeoman's work filling in for Manila during this time that she's been out. It's been fun doing it with you. Looking, not to say that I'm not looking forward to getting back with Manila, but it's definitely been its own thing.
It's going
And
to be fun teaching you how to use Rumble Studio. That's
oh
what's going
God,
to be fun.
I'm going to end up having to do it. You know that.
I don't know
Um,
that.
all right. Well, details to be worked out. Manila, I know you're watching, so looking forward to it. Much love, and I'll talk to you later, and we'll catch up on the logistics. A lot has changed since you were gone, but
For sure.
a lot has not also. So, okay. So with that,
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
going to
be
go
rating
ahead.
RT. They're the only ones streaming right now that I care about.
All right, you go ahead and do that, and away we go. Bye.
Oh no, Manila, we're getting new tech. We're 100% getting new tech. You're going to have to deal with it. It's so much better.
They still hear you, Robbie.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying this. No, Manila, you are going to learn new tech.
Okay, bye.